So when it comes to wine, you may have heard the words sulfites. Yeah, it's been sort of thrown around. And some think that sulfites cause headaches. I always thought it was just too much wine that causes headaches, but that's just me. But today we're here to get the truth with Justin Ove. Did I say that right?
Ovey.
Ovey, okay. He is the ambassador of wine education from Arizona Stronghold Vineyards. First of all, how do you become a wine ambassador? Because I would like to sign up for that job.
You have to drink quite a bit of wine, basically.
All right.
That's the first test right there.
I think I might be close. You never know.
Hang out in the cellar long enough and you'll get
That's
there.
what you did. Okay, so what are sulfites?
Sulfites are a naturally occurring chemical compound that happens during fermentation in wine. Most wineries, and when I say most, I mean 90+% of wineries in the world add sulfites as a means of a preservative.
Okay.
And I brought a few things to demonstrate that. Namely, the first one I like to show is the apricots here.
Okay.
So these are sulfite-treated apricots. You can see how
Is that how they get them
colorful
to just stay fresh longer?
They stay fresh longer. They have a tartness to them, and the color doesn't go away. These are the same exact type of apricots, dried apricots without sulfites.
Ooh, is this like rotten or no?
It's not rotten. It's perfectly fine to eat,
yeah,
but it just doesn't look as vibrant and won't have as long of a shelf life.
Yeah,
either.
and let me just ask you, which one would you rather eat? This
Precisely.
one or this one? I put my money on the pretty ones.
Exactly. And when it comes to wine, what you want is ageability. You want a wine that you can cellar for at least, a year. Some wines you can cellar for up to 50 years. But what allows them to be cellared for that long are sulfites.
Now, are there certain wines like white wines or red wines that are going to have more sulfites than others?
Absolutely. And it's kind of against what you might think, but white wines have more sulfites than red wines.
That's my favorite, too.
Well, and red wines they kind of get scapegoated as causing headaches, and a lot of people think that it's because of the sulfites in them. It's most likely the histamines that are found in wines, not the sulfites.
Now, going back to that same question, the histamines, are there certain whites or reds that have more histamines?
They both can have histamines, and this is something that usually happens during a secondary fermentation if there's sugar present. And what that translates to is that kind of the cheaper wines that add sugar to their wines to mask the lack of complexity generally may give you a headache. But the more dry style wines, the European style wines, and a lot of the New World wines as well, are not going to give you a headache unless you're histamine sensitive.
Okay, so all wines from all over the country, do they all put sulfites in it? Like the Italian wines and the...
Absolutely, and that's another common misconception. I hear this all the time when I'm serving wine. I went to France and I drank all the wine I could and I didn't get any headaches, and I didn't see anything about sulfites on the bottle. That's because in Europe, they don't have an FDA saying you have to put sulfites on the bottle. But as soon as that same bottle, a French bottle, comes into the U.S., it has to say contains sulfites.
Okay, so
and they all put them in there.
So you say, fine, that's great, but when you get back here to the States, drink that wine and then look at it.
Precisely.
But if they didn't have get the headache,
I think largely it's a placebo effect.
Okay.
And I think largely most European wineries don't add sugar. They make a drier style of wine.
Okay.
But us Americans like sugar, so they're going to market to our palates.
Okay. Well, it definitely good to know. And
but all of these foods actually have sulfites. This is a little bit of dehydrated potato, contains sulfites. Pickles contain sulfites. So if you can eat any of these things without getting a headache,
you can drink wine. Okay. Well, then I'm back onto the white wine again, starting tonight. Thank you very much. You can enjoy a four-course meal at Renegade Canteen paired with wines from Arizona Stronghold Vineyards, and it is taking place tomorrow at 6:30. Tickets are $125 a person. We are going to have the link on where you can purchase them, and it's going to be right there on SonoranLiving.com.